Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Global Veterinary Medicine Certificate Program. If you have access to this right now, you are enrolled in our wonderful certificate program. This is the first session, and it's dealing with global opportunities in veterinary medicine. Now, to access the content for our certificate program, please go on your Purdue Brightspace page. Once you go there, you will click All, and you will see Global Veterinary Certificate Program circled here in red. Now, once you click on that, you'll get information and the guidelines for our certificate program. We've already uploaded 5 sessions. To get credit for these sessions, you will go to Course Tools, Quizzes, and we will ask 2 questions on there. The first question will be, did you watch the session? All right? We trust you. We think that you are honest people. The next one is a short essay, and it will ask you to, in 2 sentences or less, in 2 sentences or up to 2 paragraphs, tell us what stood out most to you about the session. We have some wonderful sessions on here. We hope that you engage, and we think that it's an awesome opportunity. Please take advantage of it. Now let's get into our program. And so before we start discussing the opportunities for veterinary medicine, it's very important to talk about why. Why global engagement, why for veterinary professionals, and why is this important? To do that, I'm gonna ask the help of a veterinary professional, and they're gonna tell you a little bit about why. I will be disappearing for a second, but I will return.
So I'm here to talk to you about the veterinary profession, and I think it's something that's very near and dear to all of our hearts. I have 2 dogs. I know that Jim had mentioned earlier today he has a lab, and Tom, you mentioned you have a chocolate lab, and even over lunch we were talking about dogs. So this is something pretty important, I think, to all of us. But in the United States, we typically think of veterinary medicine as preventive and emergency care for our dogs, cats, and horses. And this is very valuable to us. But just for the next 5 minutes, what I'd like you to do is just forget about that part. What I'd like to do is change your lens so that you see veterinary medicine from a whole different perspective. Now, I served for 6 years in the U.S. Army Medical Service Corps, and this is when I realized what the veterinary profession was doing to make an impact in human, animal, and environmental health. So this slide, as you can see, the star represents the veterinary profession, and here are some of the ways that veterinarians do make an impact, which lesser known, we don't usually think about. So according to the Food and Agricultural Organization, part of the UN, they did a study that looks at extreme poverty. They have about 1.4 billion people that fall into the category of extreme poverty. Out of that 1.4 billion, 1 billion are dependent or somehow living around the agriculture profession. And out of that, 0.5 billion are involved with livestock. So this is pretty important. When we look at the UN Millennium Goals, which are outlined in this chart on the left-hand side, where Ban Ki-moon has placed some of the most important factors that they look at, I've come up with some of the ideas that I have where the veterinary profession can make a big impact in helping reduce the poverty and malnutrition globally. The healthy animals equation here, obviously veterinarians are involved with healthy animals. So what this means is you increase the work that each animal can produce. So for some people, animals are their tractors, they're what's tilling the land. You increase the amount of product that each animal will make. So the amount of cheese, the amount of milk, the amount of meat. So this is very important in rural areas. And then looking at the other side of the equation, what you're minusing out, the more productive each animal is, the less land usage that you need for getting the same amount of product. As well as looking at transmissible diseases, which a lot of times we think of as big deals for avian influenza, swine flu, tuberculosis. These are just a few of them. So I'd like to quickly talk about some of my experiences, which has helped develop my passion for veterinary medicine under this lens. This is a photo of me working in Cambodia, where this animal, this water buffalo, this is the tractor for the family. And simple measures such as deworming allows this animal to put on weight work longer, live longer, and there's a reason it's called livestock, if you think about it. This is their bank account. This is their stock. This is incredibly important to them. So the management of their stock, their livestock, veterinary profession has a huge impact on what they have in their wealth. Another example quickly is in China, a school milk program. I worked with some dairies in China, and they have this program for rural children to provide milk during their school program. So this allows children to get, for some of them, their only meal of the day. It allows them to go to school and learn, as well as put on proper physical growth, which is important for them in order to go out, find a job, and be productive in an economic world. So this ties the idea together in some capacity, where we talked about the human, animal, environmental health from a public health perspective, and looking at the educational aspect, allowing children to go to school and have healthy nutrition so that they can learn trades, focusing on economic growth, providing jobs in regions in agricultural and livestock development. And then finally leading to political stability, which without economic growth, this is something that we see, which you can see here, if it looks familiar. Why does this impact you? So take a look at these headlines and rethink what's currently happening in the world today. And as future business leaders, I challenge you that the next time you bring your pet to the veterinarian, think about the global impact that veterinarians are having in public health, economic, and political stability. Thank you.
There I am. All right, so as you can see, we want you to start thinking of your profession from a global perspective. Veterinary professionals have a profound impact on the world that we see today, and it's very important that as professionals in this field that you realize the impact that you have and you make a difference. So with that, we want you all to be prepared. We want you all to be prepared to engage with the world. We are continually emphasizing this, but we are graduating veterinary professionals that are globally conscious. But in order to get globally conscious, we want to ensure that you are prepared to engage in the world. My good friend, Benjamin Franklin, he said, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So it's very important that you all, and we as a college, are preparing you all to engage globally. So with that, we have a few initiatives. Of course, we have our Global Veterinary Medicine Certificate Program, along with some awesome sessions with different veterinarians from around the world and learning their perspectives to veterinary medicine. We have opportunities to learn about your global engagement opportunities and experiences. We have opportunities for you to learn about funding your global experiences, opportunities for international perspectives in animal welfare. And really, we have opportunities to really delve deep into global competency within veterinary medicine. As mentioned before, we want to ensure that our professionals are prepared to engage with the world around them. Along with that, we have our spring course, and this time it might be online, but we delve deep into international veterinary medicine. We have a series of professionals that come and give wonderful talks and Skype in from all over the world, and we discuss and we practice ways in which we can build our intercultural competency. But not only that, but really get deep into understanding multiple perspectives to veterinary medicine. So I encourage everyone to sign up for that course. And of course, if you're interested in completing the certificate, you have to complete this course. And so this is an excellent course. It's only about 8 weeks, and we encourage all of you all to join us. Some other opportunities that we have for you all, we of course have scholarships. Here at the College of Veterinary Medicine, we give up to $1,500 in scholarships for those that are veterinary nursing DL students or on-campus veterinary nursing students. You have the opportunity to get even more money through the Purdue Move Scholarship. We have IVSA, which is open to all of our students within the college. We have a wonderful international veterinary student organization. We work close with them in hosting opportunities and chances to learn more and gain more perspective in global veterinary medicine. We also, and this should be starting back in the spring, our free veterinary medicine Spanish classes to help our students practice and learn and practice different concepts of intercultural communication. And of course, we have our various international opportunities, and we'll talk more about that now. So before we dig deep into the multiple opportunities, we really want to talk about the factors to consider before going abroad. And so we're going to highlight some key factors, but before we get into those key factors, we want to ensure that you have a goal. You know, so many students come into the office and tell us those magical words. They would like to engage in one of the global engagement opportunities. And, you know, my tears start coming down my eyes. A baby is born, a rainbow is born from it. I mean, it's an amazing, amazing thing to hear. But then we ask them specifically, what are your goals? All right. And if a student does not have a goal, we say, okay, we got to send you back. We got to send you back home so you can think more about this. All the factors, the location, the learning environment, all of that centers around your goal. What is the goal for your program? And so whether that goal be to immerse yourself in a different culture, whether that goal be to learn how a specific aspect of veterinary medicine is practiced in a different country, whether that goal be to work with wildlife and different animals that you don't have access or opportunity to work with here. I don't care what that goal is, we need to know what your goal is. Once we have that, then we can work with you in achieving your goal and finding those programs that meet with that goal. Now, something else that you need to consider, this is one of my favorite memes, is the location. And when we say location, we really want you to dig into the research and know exactly where you are going. You know, you see this meme here. One simply does not go to Africa. You would be surprised by how many students come into the office and tell us that they would like to go to Africa. Let me show you something. It's a continent. I mean, it's a continent with many different countries. So it's very important that you really dig deep and research the locations, and you know exactly where you're going and where you want to go. There's many different cultures even within the continent. So it's very important to understand the location, the city, the province that you'll be in, the town that you'll be. And so location is very important and an important factor to consider. Something else is the duration. We have the Crying Jordan meme here. And it says that I should have stayed an extra week. You know, we have programs that run anywhere from 1 week to 3 months for summer students. We've had students go for their 4th year externships and off-campus blocks for up to 12 weeks. And so it's very important to know how long you'd like to go, all right? We personally recommend at least 2 weeks for a program. Most of our faculty-led programs last about 2 weeks over the summer, which is when you usually have time to study abroad. But it's very important that you consider the duration as well, and that you're getting as much of the experience that you paid for. And so that duration is very important. So we ask that you consider that as well. Something else is the academic and learning environment. And once again, all of these connect to that goal. We have opportunities where you'll be in the classroom. We have opportunities where you'll be in the field. We have a mixture of both, where you'll be both in the field and in the classroom. We have opportunities where you'll live at the wildlife rescue and rescue rehabilitation centers, or you'll live within that clinic because it's a 24-hour clinic. So there are a number of learning and academic environments, and based off of that goal, we can find the best one that meets your needs. And finally, the language. It's very important that you know where you are going. This ties back into location, but you need to understand that you are entering into a new culture, and they might not, depending on where you go, speak the same language as you. So depending on where you go, you need most of our programs have veterinarians that are fluent in both English and the host country's language. But we're really wanting to harp on you learning the language as well, and you learning something about the language. And so it's very important that you understand where you're entering and try your best to learn. Once again, the majority of our programs, the veterinarians that you'll be working with are fluent in English. but the community that you are engaged in, they might not be. So it's very important that you know where you're going and what language they're speaking. And finally, the cost. And so it's very important that you understand how much something costs. And so I like this meme right here in which they paid $5,000 for a 1-week program in Toronto, right? We harp on ensuring that students are not overpaying for their global engagement experiences. We also have a series of scholarships. Most of our students don't come out of pocket too much for their experiences, but we want to ensure that you're working with us so we can ensure that the cost is down and that the cost is effective. So that's something else. The cost is very important. Now, in terms of international options and global engagement opportunities, we have 3 types of programs. The first program is our faculty-led program. This is what you would probably typically call a study abroad program, in which a faculty member takes a group of students to a location. We currently have 8 of these programs. You can get access to these once you build your profile on our website, and we'll talk about that a little later. But we usually run 8 of these each year. And so we have programs in Guatemala, programs in Brazil, Switzerland, Japan, China, India. We have some wonderful opportunities for you. But once again, faculty-led programs are those that are usually led by Purdue faculty with a group of students in a location. And they usually last about 2 or 3 weeks. The other option are our exchange programs. And if you go on our website, you'll see a list of our exchange partnerships. We have over 20 in a variety of different countries. With these exchange programs, you have the chance to do an exchange and work in the clinic with other students from that host university in a variety of different fields. We have different fields in large animals, small animal, wildlife, and even research opportunities. And so this is in our faculty, they are very willing to show you around. You usually stay either on the campus or near the campus, and you have an opportunity to engage with students from that host country. Finally, we have our independent programs. And just because they're independent programs don't mean that we haven't vetted them. This is usually when we work with the different clinics or wildlife rescue and rehabilitation centers and partnerships that we have. But independent programs give you a chance to work within clinics from around the globe. We have over 50 partnerships all over in different areas of the world that you can work with in either in clinics, in rehabilitation centers, and even research laboratories. And so those are our 3 types of programs. Now, within these programs, you also receive credit for your experience, and you can take a look at the credit options there. And I know we don't have the veterinary nursing credit options on here, but just know that there is something built in for you all as well to take advantage of this experience. I believe it's VN 81001, an international externship course. And so everyone has an opportunity to take advantage of this experience. Now, to get access and see all of our opportunities, you want to go on our website. It's www.purdue.vet.edu/global, and you will have access. Or you can just go on Google and type in Purdue Veterinary Medicine Global. It will take you to this page. Once you arrive at this page, you will click here to start your adventure. Click that big button right there in the middle, and it will take you to this page. Now, we have highlighted right there, don't have an account, sign up. If you don't have access to that page when you type in your email and password, you have to sign up. And so you'll click that button right there, and it will take you to a sign up page. You will be able to upload your profile in there, you'll upload your picture, and then you will be able to search programs that best fit your needs. If you have any questions, there's also a chance, you have a button on there where you can set up an appointment with us directly. Also, on this page, you can set up an appointment with us directly. And so I encourage all of you all, we do both online appointments and we do in-person appointments. And it's very important that you all start the process early. I've been getting a lot of questions about COVID and how we're moving forward with COVID. And so the big thing is this. We don't know what the future holds, but we're preparing and we're making everything tentative, which means that we're not going to encourage anyone to buy tickets, but we are working with all of our partners and all of our clinics. They've been willing to accept all of our students tentatively. And if nothing happens or if we're able to travel to those locations, we will. And for those countries that will accept us, we'll continue to move forward. And for those that don't, we will adjust and we'll switch up our programs, and that's how we'll handle it. We have to be like water. That's what Bruce Lee says. You have to be flexible. And so that's how we're moving forward with our global programming for this year. Now, finally, one of my favorite quotes is this: a ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. Within this veterinary profession, you all have a chance to make a global impact. As you saw from the talk by Dr. Dominguez, you all are needed to make a difference in this world. But you can't make that difference if you're too afraid to engage and to get out there. You are built to engage, you're built to explore. So we want to encourage all of you all to take advantage of these opportunities and explore. And yes, fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. So that's it. You'll be getting this session through an email. And so you can email me right back if you're looking to set up an appointment or you're looking and you have any questions. And so please reach out to us. We're happy to see you. And yeah, thank you guys. Bye.